that's a shock, a car wreck, or a job loss, or a divorce, or something like that. It's not like it's being brought to you, but it's happening and it's impacting you in a different way because you've decided to see the world differently. You've decided to move in your world differently, and you've made a commitment, whether consciously or not, that you're going to review the stories that you have and the labels that you've put on yourself and your life. So, an example is you have a house that you've outgrown. I see this happen to people who start meditating, who start therapy, who start coaching. When you start to pull things away, so grateful. Gratitude is the best. When you start to pull things away, you almost have to demolish the house you're in and build a new one. But you don't have to do that. You can, Tanya said the other day she didn't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater. And that's such a great saying. We overuse it. But it's such a great saying because you don't have to smash everything to the ground and start new. You can do a life review. You can look around at your house, figuratively speaking, and see what you want to keep and what you'd like to toss out. Do you need new carpet? Then replace the carpet. It doesn't mean that you have to knock down all the walls. Maybe you just need new windows, or maybe you just need new appliances. Scanning your life for what you have that works will bring to light what doesn't work, and you can also flip-flop that. You can go make a list of everything in your life that's not working, that you're really dissatisfied with, and that will bring to light, when you get that out of the way, that will bring to light everything that is working, and then it will show you where you want to add. So when you start to remember who you really are, you start to recognize your old identity doesn't fit. There's going to be labels that don't fit anymore. There's going to be new labels that you need, like I have a daily practice, or I've made a commitment to walk through life seeing conflict as a message instead of a smack in my face. So an exercise that you can do is write down all the labels that you have for yourself. All the things that we say about ourselves at parties. So when someone says, well, tell me about yourself, and you start listing off your labels, you can write those labels down. Mom, wife, employee, spiritual seeker, chronic dieter, coffee addict, drug addict, if that's where you're at. You can write those things down, and you can say, what other labels would I like to have on my life? So do you want to feel that you're an artist? Put that label on your life, and then start exploring the artistic side of yourself. Do you want the label photographer? Buy a cheap camera if that's all you can afford, or use your phone and start looking at the world differently and put that label photographer on yourself, and then let that start drawing experiences to you. Start with that label, start with that feeling of, what does a photographer feel like? Well, I don't know. Put the label on and start taking some pictures and see what photographer feels like to you, because it feels like something different. Every photographer, every artist would describe that feeling differently if they could even find a word to put on it. So for me, being an artist has turned out to be really tuning in to the subject. It's really strengthened my intuition, because I'm really trying to tune in to the subject of my drawing, whether they're still alive or dead, because I do memorial portraits. But it's a little weird, and it's taken some getting used to, but I do have a strong sense of the people or the animals that I'm drawing, even after they've already died. So that's a different feeling of the word artist to me. It might be something entirely different for you. But just know that when you choose to live this way, when you choose to reconnect to God, reconnect to Spirit all day throughout your life, that's going to create a domino effect of things looking like they're falling apart, but they're not falling apart. They're coming to your awareness in a different way. They don't suddenly appear overnight. They've been there all along. You're just now seeing them, and you've decided you want to see the world differently. And that's a process. And it can feel ugly and painful and emotional. So I just want you guys to be aware that, especially those of you you follow me and you follow Sarah and Jess and other people that are constantly reminding you and triggering that connection to Spirit, then that's going to work itself out. And when we say it's life-changing, it is life-changing, but the process of life-changing can make you feel like there's something wrong with you, and it's not. There's nothing wrong with you. What questions do you have about that? I'm sure if you're over the age of 5, and if you're under 5, what are you doing on Periscope? If you're over the age of 5, you probably remember changing identities from one stage of life to another. You're not the same person you were when you were in junior high. And thank God, right? Because we were all kind of, I don't know about you, but I was pretty shallow and a little bit stupid in junior high. You guys might have been fantastic in junior high. We must have some Perry lag. I'm going to get like a whole string of comments that I'm not going to be able to see. Another one that occurred to me is readers. There's lots of readers on Periscope, and if you look around, this one is hard to process. So y'all are thinking. It is hard to process. I hate junior high. I hated junior high. I hated the social aspects of school. I loved school, but I hated the social part because I'm such an introvert and I just want to hide, which is ironic since I'm on here every day. So another example is card readers. Yes, that's a great example. Your identity does change after divorce in a big way, and it probably wasn't a pretty process. Yeah, I love school and learning, just hated the process, yeah. So the process of getting divorced can be super ugly and emotional. Yeah, for real. Yours is changing in a big, big way. My identity has changed many times throughout. Yeah, and it sounds like that's happening again. So for people who see, I'm just going to pick on Linda a little. People who see others think that we know what we're doing, and we don't. The internet especially is bad about making people look like they have all their shit together, like they drink kaopectate for breakfast, and it's not true. We're all struggling somewhere. I've known some extremely gifted therapists and some extremely gifted attorneys and judges. I've worked in law enforcement and criminal justice for most of my career. I've known some gifted social workers who, I know one social worker in particular who was extremely gifted and died of her unchecked alcoholism. Like, it killed her. You can be extremely gifted and talented in one, maybe two areas of your life, and then the life behind the scenes is chaos and madness. So that's what we don't want. We want our lives to be authentic in every area, or as many as we can. So if you've got something going in one area, take those skills and transfer it to another. If you're really good at relationships but you suck at money, look at what you're doing in relationships and transfer that same energy over to how you think about money. If you're really good at your job and not so great at home, what are you doing differently in your job? How are you approaching your job, your career, differently than you approach your family life? Transfer those skills. Me too. Well, until now, right? Okay, so we're learning, we're changing. If you have money stuff that you're struggling with, Amanda Abaya is a great person to follow. Yeah, me too. But we're working on it, right, Linda? We're changing. Amanda Abella, AmandaAbella, at Amanda Abella on Periscope. She has a great book. It's like $5 on Kindle. It's called Make Money Your Honey. And she does broadcasts on money issues. Super valuable young woman to follow. She's very good. So, Abella, but like with the Spanish spelling. Abella. So, it looks like Abella, but it's pronounced Abella, like tortilla. Oh, that's dumb. Anyway. Okay, so I might rattle on some more about this later today. I switched it up on you, right? It's totally the opposite. I live in God, and when you live in God, not just think about God. Yeah, like tortilla. Tortilla. I love tortillas. My mom, are you on here? She used to make tortillas. Oh my God, they're so good. Homemade tortillas are the best. When you live in God, not just think about God, you find your refuge and your strength. You find a new identity. So delicious. New identities are delicious. Homemade tortillas are delicious. Homemade tamales are like a dream food. If they're made with beef, because I don't like pork. But, yeah. In Him is my identity. And it won't be the identity you have now. You're going to change identities doing this much spiritual work. And then you're going to change again. And then you're going to change again. As long as you're alive, your identity is going to be in constant fluctuation. We don't like that. We want it to be set, damn it. We want to know what we need to do and do it. It doesn't work like that. In Him is everlasting peace. Connecting to Source and Spirit is your everlasting peace. Yeah. Constant change. And only in that peace will you remember who you are at the core. Your identity changes out here, but the core of you is the only place that remains the same. It's the only place. It's just that my father and people growing up have been doing the same thing for years. Well, you can. I mean, you can stay static and become numb. But you guys on this call aren't that type of personality, or you wouldn't be here. There's no way anybody who's on this call today, or this scope today, is the kind of person who's going to go numb and go through life like a zombie for 40 years. You wouldn't be here otherwise. You would have heard what I was saying 15 minutes ago and clicked off and gone and watched somebody smoke a doobie or something. Yeah. So people can define that day after day clockwork static life as stable. It is stable. It's just completely unsatisfactory for those of you who are seekers. So when you're reaching for God and you're dwelling in God and you're in that peace and security, that is your stability. That's the part that never changes, and that's the part we're always scrambling around looking for. We're looking for certainty out here, and this out here is completely uncertain. It's completely chaotic. It's constantly moving and changing. Our labels and our story and how we function out here is constantly moving and changing. But the peace, that's what this whole thing is about. The peace and the love that you're looking for, the peace and the love that never, ever change. It's rock solid. It's Rock of Ages. It's called Rock of Ages for a reason. It's rock fucking solid. It's right here. And only in your heart. And only in that connection to God can you find the one thing that never changes. Mic drop. That's all I got. That's all I got. So when you're looking outside yourself for something that feels rock solid, boom! Where's Mark Shaw when you need him, right? I actually got out of Tag Tribes. It was driving me nuts. I like Mark Shaw, though. If you're building a business, follow him. I'm done. That's all I got. As I start the memorial portrait, right, I'm exhausted. As I start the memorial portrait on Facebook, I'll post those progression photos. I'll post them on Twitter too. And I might do a talk about that process. Tanya, you just missed us. We're just wrapping up. We're just wrapping up here. Watch the replay. Replays are boring though, right? I'll watch them, but I like live better. Anyway, for replay viewers and heart givers and sharers, thank you so much for being here and sharing this identity changing journey with me. And I might... Oh, good! Good, you slept in. Yay, Nina, thank you. Thank you. You guys make my day amazing. You're welcome. You're welcome. DM me on Twitter, find me on Facebook. Look at my art. If you look at my art, you'll see that some of it's, I'll give myself credit, some of it's awesome. Some of it's crap. And I left it on there anyway. So here's where I am. That's the art one. Find me on Facebook. If you want to friend me on Facebook, look for L. Michelle Wolf. Facebook.com/L. Michelle Wolf. And DM me for Young Living Oils information. I know, Linda. Thank you. Thank you for looking. Here is my other stuff. CaddyshackDesigns.com. Across the top is all the stuff I do. Tanya, good on you for sleeping in and getting some good rest, I hope. Yay! I hope you enjoy it. I am going to be moving it off Fine Art America over to Redbubble, where it will be a lot less expensive. It's on Fine Art America, and getting prints is expensive. Oh, yay! Thank you! I'm going to put it at a place where you can get prints for a lot less moolah. Because the prints are the same. Alright, my lovelies. Make a list of your labels. See which ones you want to keep, which ones you don't want to keep. And see which new ones you'd like to add to it. And explore. And I will see you more this weekend. Maybe tomorrow morning. I might do a little something this afternoon. I don't know. I can't make up my mind. I can't commit. Alright, I love you guys. Have a great day. Bye, 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 bye. Thank you, replay viewers. Thank you, heart givers. Okay, take care. You too. Love you too.